Of all the public universities in the country, UC Berkeley is the only one to have a library dedicated to the study of anthropology. The problem is, they don't seem very dedicated to keeping it open. The protest going on inside UC Berkeley's Anthropology and Art building is a bit unusual. No chanting, no bullhorns. In fact, except for the beds strewn around the room, you wouldn't know anything was going on. But that's what happens when you occupy a library.
I think people have a sense that an occupation is, a huge struggle and maybe very divisive, but it's been very peaceful and very calm, actually.
The Anthropology Library is currently under fire. The students say Chancellor Carol Christ intends to shut the facility down to save more than $400,000 annually. And it's not the first time it's been threatened. In 2012, members of the Occupy Cal movement staged a sleep-in until the administration agreed to keep it open. On Friday, a new group of overnight guests moved in.
We occupied the library, and we're going to continue to be here until we defend the library this time.
At issue is whether this collection deserves its own space. The university wants to transfer the material to the main library, where much of it may end up in storage, and possibly use the location as a reading room. But research guide Jesus Gutierrez says what's on these shelves are the stories of the diversity of human experience.
That means that this library in many ways is fundamentally about people, about the history of people, the relationships of people to one another, the violent histories that people have suffered.
For example, this obscure old book documents museum artifacts from the Belgian colonization of the Congo. But the brutal treatment of the natives has given the material an entirely different context in the current day. Gutierrez says each of these books holds secrets about the true nature of man and where we may be headed in the future.
It's really important for me to have this library as a collection and as an archive so that I can teach my students to think critically about the history that they're inhabiting and how they want to either repeat it or transform it.
So far, the university has done nothing to stop the occupation. The protesters say they're staying to keep the material open and accessible to everyone.
The occupation can end tomorrow if the UC Berkeley can tell us that they're willing to make a plan to really prioritize being a public university.
They say we must learn from history to keep from repeating it. The fear is that if this goes into a warehouse, no one will ever learn from it again.